What a great time to be a Giant, be a fan of the Giants.
Like, we have something going here. We're building something special, and you can see it from the outside and inside. It's even more beautiful.
Reflecting on everything that got me here, just to see that uniform, and I watched. That's the team I watched the most growing up because my dad was a Giants fan. So
once a Giant, always a Giant. For me, it's only a Giant.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of All In with Art Stapleton, a New York Giants podcast brought to you by NorthJersey.com and The Record. I'm your host, Art Stapleton, and it's a busy day. We are 48 hours away from the New York Giants and the New York Jets for their preseason finale, and then things get going for real September 10th at MetLife Stadium. Giants Cowboys on Sunday night, and then Monday night it's the Jets and the Buffalo Bills. We've got some breaking news. The Giants have acquired Isaiah Simmons, kind of been a jack of all trades, former Clemson star, number 8 overall pick in the 2020 draft, and they send a 7th round pick in next year's draft. They ultimately only have to pay Simmons $1.01 million in cap hit and cash value because the Cardinals declined Simmons's 5th-year option of his rookie contract. And Simmons is coming here in Wink Martindale's defense to be a sort of inside linebacker. Yes, it's a positionless defense, so he'll be roaming around the middle. We'll have some coverage duties. But when you can put an athlete like Simmons next to Bobby Okereke, I'm not saying that's going to be the base defense, but I think Simmons will grow into that spot. This is a really, really low risk, high reward trade that Joe Schoen has pulled off. And it's the kind of move that you make when you're confident in the players around you and what you've had. I think Okereke and Simmons together, potentially in coverage. You can look at what Simmons did in Arizona. Clearly did not live up to expectations. But when you're the number 8 overall pick and you get bounced around in a couple different regimes there in Arizona, last year he played more than half of his snaps as a slot corner. And given his size, at 6'4", 238 pounds, playing slot corner, he has that kind of ability. Is good in coverage. I think the main thing with Simmons is the fact that he's been moved around way too much. He's been one of those guys that came into the league praised for his versatility, and I don't think anyone has used him in the right system, in the right role. I know he was apprehensive about playing linebacker coming into the season in Arizona with Jonathan Gannon coming in as head coach, Monty Ossenfort as the new GM. So there was stuff in the preseason about, or really in the offseason, about Simmons not wanting to play linebacker. Well, if you come to Wink Martindale's defense, you're not necessarily playing an old school linebacker. You are playing a hybrid. You're going to be moving around. You're going to be blitzing, which I can't wait to see Simmons in a blitzing role in this defense if it pans out. He's 25 years old and has the pedigree. And when you look at what's happened in Arizona and all of the things that have taken place there with the regime changes and the general manager changes and all of the lack of consistency and continuity, a guy like Simmons is the perfect fit here in Wink's defense. Let him go to work. Let Wink kind of go into his lab and find a role for Isaiah Simmons. And I think he will do that. We talk inside linebacker. Anthony Barr came here on a visit. We know all that talk. I know the Giants were concerned about their depth at that position. Micah McFadden came out after really the first couple days at camp where Darian Beavers was next to Bobby Okereke. Micah McFadden in Detroit really made a strong push, kind of taking advantage of the fact that Beavers is still a little bit on a pitch count coming back from ACL. He's a rookie plus an ACL coming back. So I don't believe they've lost faith in Beavers. I just think that it's taken a little bit more time for Beavers to get up to speed and really be what this defense needs. I don't think that eliminates Micah McFadden from the mix. I don't think it eliminates Beavers, but now it puts those guys in the mix on special teams, especially if you're looking at the cuts coming on Tuesday. Cam Brown has been injured. I don't know what his status is. Carter Coughlin has been another mainstay on special teams. Both of those two guys will have a hard time getting a roster spot at this point between injury and now newfound depth. This regime is going to go with the guys that they drafted last year. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out come Tuesday. But Isaiah Simmons, we know he has the connection with Dexter Lawrence from their Clemson days together. He trained with Saquon Barkley and Isaiah Hodgins, and I believe Parris Campbell out in Arizona in the offseason. So there's a lot of excitement with the Giants right now that they feel like they stole one right here. Now, again, it's a chance at a big swing and to bring a guy in, and you're not, when the cost is basically $1 million in cap space and salary and a 7th round pick, you're willing to take that shot if you're Joe Shane. And if it doesn't work out, then you move on, and 2024 is where it's at. But I think it's a smart move. I think you take advantage of Arizona and a new regime there, and probably a little bit of a down year anticipated, not knowing where Kyler Murray is going to be with his injury. I think the Giants struck for a guy, and you have to give them credit because not only is their college scouting department getting rave reviews, but their pro scouts are doing a good job. And their pro scouts I kind of outlined that in a story this week. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's Comfortable in the Chaos. It was off of Brandon Brown's Monday press conference. Check it out on NorthJersey.com, and it'll also be in the newsletter this week. You trust the guys, you trust the alignment you have between the coaches and the front office and the scouting department, and they believe that at that price, Simmons is worth the swing. And I think it'll be fun to watch, very intriguing to see what Wink Martindale can do with a player of Isaiah Simmons' talent and the way he's built. Maybe that role that Landon Collins and Tony Jefferson played last year, that hybrid linebacker safety, that neither one really, stood out. I mean, Landon had his moments, but he never wanted to play linebacker. But he was here and he wanted to be on this team. So we'll see. Isaiah Simmons should be in town by the weekend, so I would imagine we will hear from him or check him out on Saturday. I can't imagine he plays for the Giants on Saturday, but we'll see what goes on next week. Again, I know there's going to be a lot of excitement about Isaiah Simmons. No one's saying he's going to be an all-pro tomorrow, but I do think it's a, like I said, low risk, high reward kind of trade for the Giants, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like Simmons a lot coming out of college. Everybody did. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits this defense. Sometimes it's, like the golfers who are certain courses fit golfers. This defense might fit Isaiah Simmons better than any defense he's played in so far in the NFL. Also on today's show, I've been promising it, so let's get to it. It's a one-on-one I did with Parris Campbell. Try to take a different approach, a new player coming to a new city, a new team. What's it like for his family? What's it like for him coming here? And then a little bit about his role in this offense. I think you'll enjoy it. Again, going in, I apologize for the audio. We had some technical difficulties in the field house, but I wanted to make sure I brought this to you because I thought Parris was pretty cool. It was first time getting a chance to talk to him, and I think he'll be an integral part of this offense moving forward. So without further ado, here's my interview with Parris Campbell.
On that first series, that's kind of how you draw it up, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it was just good to get in the stadium and put that on tape. Get in a rhythm and start fast. We kind of made that the motto all week, going into the game. We just really want to start fast and just allow ourselves to feel good about, going into the season and where we're going and where we're at. So, I think it was just a big emphasis to start fast.
How much of a thing is it for guys who, you spend your first part of your career at one place, you come to a new place. I'd imagine there's new things even now where you've been here. What's that like going into the stadium the first time?
Yeah, it was cool, man. Obviously played there last year, but on the other side.
Right.
It was kind of funny at first because, I'm trying to get my routine down and, head to the field early and, trying to find which way to go and, all that stuff, getting directed different ways. But, no, it was cool, man. It was a cool experience. I can only imagine what it's going to look like come season time. The new turf feels good. But it was more so just like a breath of fresh air. And it really just kind of got me excited for the season.
I know you have a young family. I saw some pics on Instagram. The idea. Take me through that process. I mean, you're a father. You have young kids. All they know is the Colts before they get here. What's that like when you start breaking out the new gear and getting the new jerseys?
Man, it was fun. And my son is 5. My daughter is 1. And it's actually crazy because when free agency started, my son he had this infatuation with New York. And my wife had no idea where it came from. We're like, what are you talking about? He's telling kids at school in Indy, yeah, I want to live in New York. So I'm like, no, you're not. What are you talking about? And 2 months later, I end up here, and he's super excited, can't wait to get here. I want to see the Empire State Building, all that. And so it was cool to kind of see. But on the other end too, I remember when the season ended, I remember having a conversation with my son. I'm like, listen, Daddy might be here, we might be somewhere else. It just determines on my job. And I remember him getting a little emotional just because he was in school there, he had friends there. So that part of it, as a dad, as a husband, it's kind of tough because you feel like you're uprooting your family to what they know and what they're used to. But I mean, they're with me ride or die. So they've gotten used to the traffic, the fast-paced living, all that stuff. So it's been cool. It's been fun.
Are you guys settled into a place?
Yeah.
What was that? What's that process like?
Yeah, I mean, we immediately, after I signed, we got talking with my financial advisors, got us connected with some realtors here, and I really kind of put it all on my wife and let her pick and just let her do that stuff because I mean, at the end of the day, she's the one that's going to be there majority of the time, especially during the season. But we still have our home in Indy. I'm on a 1-year deal, so who knows what's to come next.
Gotcha.
So I want to have just somewhere we can call home for now. But yeah, I kind of just put it all on her.
I keep going back to the whole, I think of, I see you guys all the time. The kids run out here with your jerseys and stuff like that. I mean, what do you do with the Colts stuff? I mean, you kind of tell them, no, listen.
It's crazy because when we were packing up to move, a bunch of the Colts stuff, we just kind of put it in a pile, and we ended up donating it to the Salvation Army or whatever.
Okay.
And kind of just, but my son, he is the one to tell you if because he was in summer school for a little bit, and he was going back and telling no, it's not Colts anymore, it's Giants, and he was making sure that everybody knew. Yeah. So he was the one taking charge. I was like, yeah, go ahead.
What do you think? I mean, we all talk about what this offense can be. What do you like most about this offense?
I think I love the versatility. I love how we have so many guys in so many different spots, but can change spots at any moment. I always give credit to Calf and Dave just for how smart they are, and you got this many people that can do this many things. It kind of can be overwhelming, especially in this league. You don't know where to put guys where, but they do a great job. They do a great job of switching us around and putting us in different spots. And at the end of the day, just putting us in a spot to succeed.
We all talk about Darren seemingly every time he takes the field this summer, but to see it in the game and how that middle of the field kind of opens up when he's out there, I gotta imagine guys like you looking.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it, man. It's crazy because I was talking to Darren a couple days ago, and we were just talking man, we have an opportunity to be great. This offense can really be great. You just look at everybody and what it's made up of. We really have a chance to do something special. I mean, obviously it's going to come to us working hard and getting better each and every day. But you got a guy 12 out there, you got a guy 2-6 out there. As a defense, you got to account for a lot of different stuff. So it's it's gonna be a lot of one-on-one matchups.
And haven't even seen 2-6, right?
Exactly.
At this point.
Exactly. So imagine you throw him in there on that drive that we did have. Like, it just opens up so much.
The last thing is for you. I mean, you said you're on a 1-year deal. You come here, you want to immerse yourself in this here.
Mm-hmm.
So do you fight that, or do you just say, you know what, I'm all in here, and let's worry about?
I embrace it. I'm grateful and blessed to get the opportunity from the Giants, man. I'm happy that they wanted me to be a part of something like this, man. So I'm grateful. Obviously, free agency is always a doozy. It's a lot of emotions up and down. And I love Indy and thought I would be back there in Indy. But, that's not how the cards played themselves. That's not what God had in store. And like I said, I'm grateful to be here. I'm giving everything I got, man, and just roll with it. Roll with it.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
All right, that was Parris Campbell. Apologize for the audio a little bit. We had some background stuff in the field house, but like I said, I wanted to bring that to you because I thought it was interesting insight from a different perspective for Parris Campbell. I think number 0 is going to play a very big role on this offense this year. I definitely think that the presence of Waller, the presence of Saquon, I think now you work in Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton and the combination of Sterling Shepard, Cole Beasley, however that works out. Then you throw in Daniel Bellinger. I mean, this offense really has a chance to fit like a puzzle. It's not just putting guys out there. There's reason to believe that Dable and Kafka have these guys for a reason out on the field. And I think when you see Parris Campbell's skill set and how it complements both Waller, what it can do underneath with Campbell and Saquon and everybody else, I think it's going to be a special year for Parris Campbell. Obviously, he's always going through on the injury situation, and as long as he stays healthy and Waller stays healthy and a bunch of other guys, that injury situation is going to be a week-to-week thing. And maybe they've been a little unlucky, so maybe the Giants have kind of earned some of that good luck in terms of injuries. So that's Parris Campbell. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and we'll be there Saturday night. Giants-Jets will have a different look on October 29th when the two teams meet again for real. Looks like the Jets are going to play their starters, Aaron Rodgers, Quinnen Williams, and the like, and the Giants will likely play most of their reserve guys, save for some of the rookies. So we'll see how that unfolds on Saturday night, and we'll likely do a post-game reaction podcast after that. So appreciate you, as always, being all in. Make sure you check out our All In with New York Giants newsletter. Friday morning will be in your inbox by 10 a.m. Got some fun stuff in there. If you have not subscribed, it's free. Just need an email address. It's northjersey.com/allin. Again, we know you're all in, and we are all in on the New York Giants, and the season's getting close. So I hope you're enjoying the coverage.